We fought one prosper, run, we win. This is your friend James. The blessing in you. We are now content. We are now beginning a brand new series. We finished Jehovah Rapha in you. We may add to that series as time progresses. But for prosperity scriptures, this is called the blessing in you. God has provided the blessing for you, and the purpose of this is so that you can tap into the blessing no matter where you are, what time of life you are, what age you are, what country you are in, because of the blessing. Genesis 1:28. We're going to start going through scriptures like we did the other one. Genesis 1:28. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And God blessed them, and God blessed them. God is the one who is initiating this blessing, this supernatural empowerment. God is the one who's doing it. Not just someone, like for instance, a father says, go, you can, I give you permission to go to the movies, but then a police officer stops them halfway and says, you can't go to the movies tonight, and they got to go home. The father doesn't, so that authority interfered. When Daniel prayed, but look like remember when Daniel prayed? So the police officer's authority superseded the father when he gave the kid the money and said, go to the movies. But when Daniel prayed and the angel was sent, and the prince of Persia, when Satan and the angels, whatever, the demons, they stopped. The fallen angels stopped him. The prince of Persia withheld him for 21 days. He still got through. Why? He said, the Lord rebuked thee when Satan tried to argue with him over Moses' body too. See, God's power superseded. The Tower of Babel, they started doing whatever they want to do, and God's power superseded because it's God we're dealing with. Zacharias, remember, they said his wife Elizabeth was going to have a baby. He got a sign. God stopped his mouth. God still headed his way. He said, disperse. The children of Babel, they didn't disperse. God said Jesus was coming to bruise Satan's heel and to see the woman for the redemption of mankind. Jesus came. It didn't matter what Satan did. God's power supersedes. So God blessed them. God blessed them. He's talking about mankind after he made mankind. So God initiated a blessing on mankind, the very first book of the Bible. And God said unto them, God specifically said these words. He specifically spoke these words. He set these laws in motion. Just like and God said, let us make light. God said, let us do this. God said, let the earth bring forth. God is instituting a law of saying, and it comes to pass. Mark 11:23. So, and God said unto them, so God's doing words, just like Jesus, Mark 11:24. Therefore I say unto you, God is initiating a spiritual law to be made and done. So he said to them, he said, let the earth bring forth fruit. Let the ground bring forth the beasts of kind. Let the waters bring forth the birds and the fishes. Let there be light. So now he's talking to humanity. Be fruitful. That means bear fruit. So God says, one, be fruitful. The blessing. God wants us to be fruitful. God wants us to, what's fruitful mean? That's not just a tree that doesn't bear fruit. A woman that doesn't have kids. A man that doesn't have kids. A business that doesn't make any money. Come on. God wants you to be fruitful. It's like a tree, a vine. It doesn't matter if you have an apple tree if it doesn't bear fruit. That's perpetuation. That's life continuing. So the first thing he said is for life, be fruitful, as in continue to grow and blossom. That's like a rose that never blooms. Apple tree that doesn't give apples. Orange tree doesn't do oranges. Humans that don't have kids. So it's be fruitful. God wants to be, so the first command, this is a command to be fruitful. And multiply. So that means it's not just one and one and one in addition. It's, the husband and wife, they have the kids, Adam and Eve, then the children have children. It spreads and spreads and spreads. The animals, same thing. They have kids, the two animals mate, they have two kids, and as time progresses, it spreads out. God likes multiplication. The universe, when he said, let there be light, the thing has been expanding at the speed of light since he said, let there be light. So God wants us to multiply. So that means your business should be multiplying. Your family should be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Not one person in your family this year, next year, 5 people in your family this year, then 10 years later, 5 people are still in your family. Then 5 people. No, it's supposed to spread about. Oh, those are so-and-so. They go all over the world. This is the blessing. So it's not just one of you. Just like Jesus, the disciples came. There's more disciples than just one. He started with 120. He had 12 disciples. 12 main disciples. He had 120 others, 70 others. He had 120, he had 70. And now look how many there are. Over 2 billion Christians. So, and replenish the earth. Replenish. What does that mean? That means to perpetually recycle. Not recycle. Reuse it. Replenish as in to continue it going. Continue, replenish, continue it. So you don't just build a farm and it dies out. No, the farm keeps going. The world keeps going. See, it's not supposed to die out. That knocks out global warming and leaving out, running out of fuel, fossil fuels, or whatever they like to say, running out of resources. No, we're supposed to replenish your body. That's renewed youth. Replenish new cells. Every certain number of months, all your cells are replaced in your entire body, constantly replenishing. This is before the curse, of course. But listen, this is how God blessed. And the curse is gone now for Christians. This is how God blessed, replenished. So the earth is supposed to be replenished, the universe, the solar system replenished, not the sun dying. God did not institute death. So replenished the earth. So replenish, and we're supposed to be making sure we have a supernatural mandate to keep this thing in pristine prime condition and subdue it, which means control the earth. We are supposed to be controlling the earth. What does that mean? Now that the fall has come, we were supposed to control the earth. Say Adam and Eve, Adam was supposed to put down Satan. He was supposed to shut that serpent up, that animal. God was supposed to do that. That's what Abraham was supposed to do. He was supposed to subdue that animal. So when God said, subdue the earth, we're supposed to be the ones running the earth. Not Mother Earth, worshiping the earth, trying to arrest and slaving and trying to keep this planet here. Read the whole book of the Bible. But we were supposed to be the ones in charge of the planet. We're supposed to subdue it. And then now when you have the fall, there's tornadoes and hurricanes. Jesus said, peace be still to the storm. He did not say weather through the storm. Every time you notice when Jesus had a storm, it stopped. Even Jonah. They threw him over and the storm stopped. Come on, guys. He says subdue it. We're not supposed to be sitting there wondering what's going to happen. Jesus said you should be able to tell the forecast, but people can't even tell the times. And have dominion over the fish of the sea. That means we're supposed to be running and controlling the fish of the sea, guys. Dominion. Mankind has dominion. We're not fellow brothers with all the animals, and we're supposed to be coexisting with animals. He said have dominion. He told us we could eat animals in Genesis chapter 9, reiterated in the book of Acts, but we specifically are supposed to have control, dominion over it. So the birds, that horror movie, birds ain't supposed to come killing us. All the insects and all stuff aren't supposed to come kill us. We're supposed to have dominion over the fish of the sea. For food, whatever we need, we're supposed to control it. Not those things where the octopus comes up and kills the ship and everyone dies. No, we're supposed to have the dominion. And over the fowl of the air too. So the birds ain't killing us, the fish ain't killing us. We're supposed to have the dominion over. We are the ones set in charge of the planet. When God did this, mankind was set at the top. We're not fellow animals. There's the animal kingdom. There's the plant kingdom. They said there's a fungus kingdom. Then there's humanity. We are not on the same level. You can't sit there and go out there and live in the bushes with wolves. That's not what you're designed to. It doesn't work. Mankind changes his circumstances. He changes the terrain. He's supposed to. And over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. So God has given us a mandate. God has given us wisdom over everything, living thing that moves upon the earth. Everything. He didn't say every human. He said everything because he started with them and they had all these other things. So humanity is not supposed to be telling folks what to do through socialism and communism and parents just lording over having slaves. No. God did not institute that. He said everything over. He said over the fowl of the air, over every living thing that moves upon the earth, over the fish of the sea, over the animals. We have dominion. God has given over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. So God put man in charge. This is what the blessing is, authority. This is not yin yang. Everything works together and God and Satan on the same side. And God does bad and good and everything. No. And you're supposed to just, whatever happens is God's will. This is not how he said this in the book. The book does not say whatever happens is God's will. He says you change it. He's given a mankind the authority to change their circumstances. This is what this blessing is. Like the prodigal son, when he came back, the father came and put a ring on his finger, signifying authority. So he came back and ran the place. God gave Adam the ability to run, and that is what we have, the blessing in you. And God wants you to run your life. Mankind is supposed to run and do and bless this earth. So Genesis 1:28. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Live, move, be.